Hello, everybody. This is Carlos Batara with Immigration Monday. This is an ongoing series on simplifying and demystifying immigration law. Today, I'm going to discuss the path to a green card. Now, I'm not going to take a traditional approach. A traditional approach will probably bore you, and not only that, I'll have to use language that you may not understand. That's certainly not simplifying immigration law. So, in my view, there's 5 paths to immigration law. 5 paths to immigration law. 3 of them are non-court paths. 2 of them are court paths. The non-court paths are 3. Basically, what's a non-court path? That's when you go to an immigration assistant, perhaps a lawyer, perhaps a paralegal, perhaps a consultant, and they fill out paperwork for you. And they submit that to the government. If everything goes right, you'll go to an interview with an immigration officer and eventually receive your green card. However, things don't always go right. But let's start there anyway. Family petitions. Family members can immigrate you. A husband can immigrate a wife. A brother can immigrate a sister. A child can immigrate a parent. And of course, a parent can immigrate a child. Family petitions, that's the first way we go. And we're going to explain this in more detail in a separate section. Special programs. What are special programs? Well, there's various types of special programs. There's those that are humanitarian oriented. There are those to protect victims of violence. There are those that are just, they don't fit in any category. What's an example of a humanitarian program? Asylum. TPS. And TPS right now people have probably heard of because of what's happened in Haiti. The big earthquake there caused a new TPS program, temporary protected status. There's a special rules for victims of domestic violence. There's VAWA, Violence Against Women's Act. Then there's the U visas and T visas for people that have been trafficked into the United States. Those are examples of special programs. Everything goes right, you may end up with a green card just on the paperwork. The third one is employment petitions. This is when an employer sponsors you. That's more likely to be successful if you're a professional or if you have special talents. Musicians get these temporary permits to come in and out of the country. So that's the non-court path. Something goes wrong at the end of the line or even in the middle, you could end up in immigration court. But there's 2 more paths. And these categories most people think of in terms of individuals who do not have immigration documents. So they end up in immigration court. And we're going to discuss all 5 of these in separate sessions. I'm going over them pretty quickly today, but we'll break them down one by one. Deportation and removal. You go to a judge and you say, wait a minute, Your Honor, yes, you can kick me out. I'm here without documents. But there's a reason why you should allow me to stay here. I'm asking for your forgiveness. Deportation, removal. Then sometimes the judge will say, no, I'm not allowing you out. I'm not allowing you to stay here. We are going to remove you from the United States. You don't deserve to be here. Well, judges are human beings. Judges make mistakes, and you can challenge those mistakes. So you run into the area of immigration appeals. If you win an appeal, you're not going to win your green card, but you will come back to the judge. And I guarantee you, my experience has been that when I come back to immigration court after I've won an appeal, the judge is looking at the case differently because basically you've shown the judge that they made a mistake and you're not afraid to challenge them. So what's the end result here? In all of these, and they're all connected, the goal is to get a green card, to become a permanent resident. And hopefully someday you take that and become a U.S. citizen. So on behalf of my staff here at Batara Immigration Law, we look forward to seeing you again next week at another session of Immigration Monday.